I had the opportunity to visit the Dominican Republic, but my presentation, I will try to give you all examples of the other markets. They told me, please don't pick on anyone. I will try my best. But please note, it's for the interest of actually learning how to do business with Latin American countries. This morning, all the presentations that we did, we spoke about price and we spoke about promotion, and all those things are very important for your product. But you also have to take into consideration your business etiquette with doing business with Latin Americans. So my first question, how many of you all had coffee this afternoon? By the raise of hand. Okay. Three persons. Okay. One observation, when we went, all meetings that we went in Dominican Republic, they will not even ask you if you want coffee. They will come and serve coffee, and because you are trying to sell a product, you will drink the coffee. Okay? So maybe it's something you can start to acquire the taste of coffee, okay, because it's very important. And tea, you don't get tea in Dominican Republic. And two of my team members are tea lovers. And there was no way we could have get a kettle in Dominican Republic. Okay, so those are things that you need to keep in mind, because you might go to a meeting and they will not offer you tea, they will offer you coffee. Okay, so let's start. Okay. First of all, well, we all know that the official language in the 4 markets is Spanish, but English is widely spoken. In Dominican Republic, you found about 80% of the buyers, they spoke English, but nevertheless, they prefer to have the meeting in Spanish. Okay? And why? Because even though they know English, the English that they know is American English. So you found that they will say chemical instead of chemicals. So they always speak, yeah, we're interested in buying chemical. And we like, okay. But then we realized that it's chemical that they were referring. Also with mattress. So there are words that they use, even though it's English, you will not understand. Okay, so it's very important. It's an advantage to actually have someone in your team that knows some Spanish. And when I say Spanish, it doesn't mean that you did CXC and you had 1. Okay? And you feel, yes, I know Spanish, I can negotiate. No, you will need to have another level of Spanish, because it depends on what product that you are selling. There will be terms that you will use that you will also need to use it in Spanish and English. Okay? Very important, a handshake with direct eye contact is a welcoming smile. Even though sometimes you don't know the language, when you shake someone's hands, when you go to a meeting, at least try to say, mi nombre es, and say either buenos días, buenas tardes, or buenas noches. At least try to break the ice at the beginning. So at least those 3 words you should learn. Buenos días, buenas tardes, buenas noches. So at least that way you try and always have eye contact, because that way. And I think in Trinidad we have a little problem with eye contact. You think it's maybe I like the person like me. No. It's concerning business, and it's concerning, they feel that you are interested in the conversation. So having eye contact is very important. The first meeting are often quite formal. Okay, it will not be about business at the beginning. So first meetings are quite formal, and it happened with us. Also, arrive on time. They told us we must arrive on time. They will never be on time. And it happens. We were always on time, but they will always make us wait 10, 15, 20 minutes. But at the end of the day, we needed to always be on time. Small talk helps establish rapport. when you start a conversation, it's good if you're going to a country for the first time, maybe try to have one of the local dish. So when you start a meeting that way, it's a good to start to break the ice. You can speak about something about the country, something that you like. They like for you to give them feedback on the country. So that way you can start the business meeting. Negotiation and decision take a long time, and I think those who are here, who are already doing business with any Latin American country or try to do business with a Latin American country will know that relationship are viewed as more important than business document. Okay, so you want them to be your friends. It's not about just buying, go sell, buy. They buy from friends. They do negotiation with friends. So it's very important to have that relationship with the potential buyer. Okay, I have this box, and I will pass it on, and whoever open it, Demi will give them a prize at the end. Okay, so I will pass it on. Please try as much as you could. So I will start with this table. I will continue while they're trying to open the box. Okay, but my point is you need to be patient. And we keep hearing this every time we go to a Latin American country. When we go to Cuba, when we go to Costa Rica, you need to be patient. It is really important because it will take emails, travel, visit to those markets to be able to get business. So you need to be patient. Avoid high pressure sales tactic. It's not a market that you will go and you have 3 products and you say, okay, yeah. So which one are you interested in? Are you buying this? Are you buying that? No. It's a market that takes time. So you will be, the first visit, you might go with brochures, catalog, and so on. Then when you come back, you might send samples to the market. So it's a market that you need to be patient. And if you're not patient, it will take, you have heard companies that are successful in the market, when you ask them how long it takes, 3 years, 4 years. In cases like Cuba, you will hear Sasha Cosmetics says it took them 8 years to actually sell the first container to the market. So it's a market that you need to be patient. In terms of your call cards, it's very important that you have your call cards translated in Spanish. So one side you have your English version, the second side you have your Spanish. It is also important that when you hand your call card, you pronounce your name, especially if you have a name like my manager, Demi, because they will call him Damian, Demian, anything. And it's also important for you to find out if they have a name that you cannot pronounce. Take the opportunity at that time to ask them. So when they give you the card, they will tell you Maria or Lopez, or especially in Dominican Republic, they love to call, if the father is Giovanni, the daughter will be Giovanna. So sometimes, if it's Francisco, it's Francisca. So they are very similar. So you need to really know who is the female and who is the male. We know in terms of Spanish that O is for male, A is for female. But especially in Dominican Republic, you don't know because they love to, if the mother's name is Maria and somebody else is Francisco, they like to put it together and then they get the name of the child. So you don't know when it's female or male. Okay, so it's very important when you give your card at that point in time that you tell them Demi Sinanan, Danraj, Hari Prasad. So you pronounce your name and they will also pronounce. Because if they really do, they have a problem with name. I do. as you can see, I don't have my tag. My name is Nathali, and I spell Nathali. They never get it right. And they do have pride when it comes to the name, the same way with the señorita and the señora. If you call someone señora and they're not married, they can take it as an insult. They will not. They will feel old. The lady will say, "Well, maybe or they will." So you need to be careful. So the safe thing in terms of ladies, call everyone señorita until you know or they tell you to call them señora. Okay? Okay, dress etiquette. This was very interesting for us, especially for the Dominican Republic team. Okay, because ladies, appropriate business attire is expected. Even though you will think that Dominican Republic is a low market in terms of segment and salaries and so on, they all dress in brand names. Okay, we will go to meetings and the type of handbags and shoes and watches that we saw, we were like, wow. So, and they look, you might think it's not important, but they look at those things because they want to associate with you. They want to have that link with you. We keep saying, especially for Dominican Republic, they're in the Caribbean, but they don't consider themselves Caribbean. Okay, they consider themselves Latin American, even though they are located in the Caribbean. So you need to up your game with them in terms of dressing. And normally, because I'm a Spanish-speaking person, they normally will come to me and give me comment. So they will ask me, if your dressing is expensive in Trinidad? Okay, because they will blow dry their hair every week. Every week they blow dry their hair. And we have the tendency in Trinidad to have a ponytail. It's our best. Okay, so sorry for that. So things like that, they don't feel, even though we tell them, but we are Caribbean, we selling your product, we are Caribbean. They don't see us like Caribbean. They don't think of themselves as Caribbean, and then actually with how we do business with them, they don't see us as Caribbean. So ladies, it's very important. I know my colleague Ramona is wondering, yes, she's not calling me, but I will call her. Ramona, I just want her to model, please. Ramona, please. Yes. When we went to meeting, we thought they either had a wedding or something after. Because the dress code, honestly, it was. We will always wear business jacket attire. It was dress. It was. As ladies, we were like, wow, okay. Yeah, it was really, really fancy. And brand, they know about brand name. And you will also see it when you go to the supermarket or even to the malls. They have a lot of brand or the European brands in the market. So it's very important in terms of your business attire, ladies. Men, you too. It's very important in terms of business attire for men, especially like in Guatemala. If you visit Latin American country, they always, if you're having a cup of tea, they always shining shoes, and it's just $1, $1 US. So at every point, anywhere you go, you have the young guys who come in to shine your shoes. So you will always see the male with the shoes shine. So when you come to the meetings, they also look at that on you. Okay, they're always looking at those things to kind of have that connection with you. So men, people are extremely fashion, as I said before, so they believe that clothing indicates social standing and success. Networking is very important. Well, I don't think Trinidadians will have a problem with that, because we like to lime. So for those, they do, knowing the right person are often more important than what you know. And doing favors and collecting favors are a highly developed art. And this is something that will really take you a long way. Okay, and doing favors is not only to maybe the business person that you're doing business, but the secretary, the receptionist, because maybe when you call in again, they're telling you, no, he's not in office. But if you had a good relationship with the receptionist, when you came, you bought some chocolate from Trinidad and you give it to them, you create that relationship. So you need to create relationship from down to up. Okay, so doing favors and collecting favor is the norm in Latin American countries. Spanish, other than maybe looking at your packaging and your pricing and how you're going to position your product, you need to do a Spanish course, because it is really important. Because even though you have an interpreter, in many cases, we will say something, and the way the interpreter says it is totally different. Sometimes you might be asking a question, and the way he translated, he does it like a statement. So you have to be very careful in terms of choosing your interpreter. Try to have a budget for this course. Don't get a cousin or someone that you know some Spanish. Is very important. So that's why I wanted to talk about that, because what we realize, what you should do is when you go to the market and you're going to use an interpreter, you need to meet with this interpreter first. Okay? Even if while you're here in Trinidad, you can maybe send them information on your products so they can read and start translating. So they have the information with them. Okay, so you meet with them and you actually speak to them in terms of how the presentation is going to do, what will be your technique. So that is one of my recommendations. So seek out a professional interpreter, hold a brief meeting with them before. When you are speaking to the customer, even though you are not speaking in the language, the conversation should be between you and the customer. Don't let the interpreter be in the middle. So you will sit and you will look at the customer. And when you don't look at the interpreter for the interpreter to tell the customer, you are having that conversation with the customer. Okay? Speak in normal voice, not too fast, not too loud. I don't know why we tend to think that because the person doesn't know our language, that we will speak loud. So you hear me, or it's not that they are deaf. Okay, it's just a matter that it is not their language. So you need to be normal and you speak, so you will not too fast and not too loud. Okay, avoid big jargon and technical terms, or even what we have in Trinidad, our slang, because they will not be able to interpret that. Avoid also jokes, because joke in English translate in Spanish is not the same. Okay, also with saying, I heard someone said the longest rope have an end. When you translate that in Spanish, the person was, so what do you mean? Because they may be not using that same phrase to mean what you want to say in English. So avoid things like that so you will not have any problems. Also, don't ask or say anything you don't want the customer to hear, because you might make a comment, and it happens, you make comments, and then the interpreter says it in English, and it was not meant to be translated. So the best thing is, try when you're having your meetings, try not to say anything that you don't want to be interpreted. Okay? Allow enough time for the interpreting session. And this is very important, because when we were in the market, we try our best to have between 4 to 5 meetings a day. Okay, so you will know, normally when you do your presentation, it might take an hour. But remember, you are using an interpreter now. So, and if you know about Spanish, you might say something that in English that is one sentence, and when the person translating, you find it's 2 and 3. Okay, so it takes more, so it takes time. So let's say you, as I said, it's 1 hour you normally do your presentation to a client. You need to allocate maybe 1.5 hours or 2. So that way you will be able to move from meetings to meeting, ensuring that you have that interpreter session in between and available, so you will have a good meeting with your potential client. And that's it. Muchas gracias.